There we go, we're back, we're live. Live, as some people tend to say here on the tubes. And yes, the clocks are back to normal. We are full stream ahead. Today I have got some really interesting news about some very, very intriguing Scottish balls. And we have got an amazing Nessie sighting to take a look at as well. And all of that before we're joined by our good friend Mary Dacina. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to hit like, hit share, if you care, and get more people over here, folks. It's going to be a good one. Hey, welcome back, Blue Days. Good to see you. We've got Shawnee, Bet, iRing. We've got Bearded, Polly, Lewis. The Bearded was number one today. The Bearded was in there first. We got Sunny Monk, Jose, Ramon Francis. Blue Days again. I'm telling you, not seen you for a while, Blue Days. Great to see you. Hope the family are doing well. We've got Malaya in there, Sidvich getting impatient. I'm telling you, it's worth waiting for, dude. It's always worth waiting for. Who else we got? First Paranormal. Yes. There you go. Good to see you, bro. I've not checked out your latest video yet, but it's on my to-watch list. Yes, indeed. There we go. We're back. We're live. Normal business is resumed here at KBS HQ. And in the time that we were missing an hour, boy oh boy, have I been getting some stuff done behind the scenes. So it's not all been lazy here. No. Been a very busy beaver, taking care of real world matrix stuff, administrative kind of stuff, you know, all the boring stuff, but it's got to be done. But now I've been looking forward to today because we're back. And it might not seem like much, but the show moving forward an hour to its usual time of 10 PM in the UK It's like, wow, it opens up the stream time and we can chill out here before I head on over and get today's special guest, who will be Mary Dacina, Ascended Masters Full Moon, the Lunar Trifecta, and a live phone-in. Yes, indeed.
Come on, man.
That's the one I was looking for. Yes, Joe, there's going to be a live phone-in today. So even Sleepy Joe is welcome to phone into the show and find out what the stars are telling Mary about the future. Yes, indeed. I'm really looking forward to it. There's always a good buzz when Mary comes to town. So that's going to be happening after the live stream today. Now, we're only going to be here for about an hour. Nice and short and sharp, in and out. And I've got some great information for you. We're going to be talking about one of the most mysterious things that I've come across in my time doing all of this. And I've been very, very blessed that I've actually been and had a look at the objects, which we're going to be taking a look at today. And here are some of said objects. No, I wasn't being crude. I wasn't being risky. We're literally going to be talking about mysterious stone Scottish balls. It is what it is, folks. I will try and do this without laughing as much as I can, but for people out there, this might be your first actual look at this, and it's amazing. These are Neolithic stones, and they represent the Platonic solids, and there's a whole heap of mystery and woo around them. And it turns out that there's one scientist out there from the University of the Highlands and Islands. Wasn't even a thing when I was growing up in Inverness area, folks, but it is now. They may have unlocked the secrets of our mysterious Scottish stone balls. Yes, indeed. So that's just one look at these magical little balls that we've got here. We've got another one here. This one I used for the thumbnail. That Mary, she is not a stone ball. That one there I've seen myself. It's one of the ones that I went to see in Glasgow. We've got another example here. I'm just going to read a little bit out to give you a little bit of the kind of background to what these are. It says carved stone balls are petrospheres dated from the late Neolithic to possibly as late as the Iron Age, mainly found in Scotland, but also elsewhere in Britain and Ireland. Now, they are usually round and rarely oval, and of fairly uniform size at around 2.75 inches, that's what she said, or 7 centimetres across, with 3 to 160 protruding knobs on the surface. Hard not to laugh, but they range from having no ornamentation, apart from the knobs, to extensive and highly varied engraved patterns. A wide range of theories have been produced to explain their use or significance, with none gaining very wide acceptance. They are pure mystery, folks. They're not to be confused with the much larger smooth round stone spheres of Costa Rica. These things you could hold in your hand, literally. Taking our look at some of these pictures of them before we get to the new news about them. There's another image there. And as you can see, there's the ones that's probably got 160 odd knobs on it. This one's been decorated a bit. You can see etchings and lines around that one. Absolutely amazing, right? Well, when I was looking for stuff to talk about today, I was kind of blown away because there was news came out last week about a presentation that was made at the weekend that's just passed. And it was a presentation by a scientist claiming to have unlocked the secrets of the stone balls. But it must be a secret, because I'm really struggling to find the conclusions, the actual theory that this guy's put together. So if we go back to the story that was out before the presentation that I can't track down, here it is here. Mystery of Scotland's ancient rock art stone balls set to be unveiled. So it says, elaborately carved with patterns of spirals, circles, and wandering lines, smooth curves, and distinctive knobs. It would look perfect as a garden decoration, a paperweight, or on a windowsill. What a waste if you use something like that as a paperweight. That's all I'm going to say. All right? And indeed, a window ledge is where one of Scotland's most enigmatic and intriguing objects was apparently found. A carved stone ball rooted in prehistoric times, unearthed by curious fingers, dusted down and admired enough to be given a fresh use of a household ornament. It was one of more than 500 Neolithic carved stone balls, some with intricate patterns, others with expertly carved knobs and tiny pyramids. Some may even say that they have an intriguing similarity to the Coof virus, with all the circles and the spikes. I'll let you determine the likeness there, right? Stretching it even by my standards. And they've all been found in Scotland, and which have sparked endless debate about what exactly they were and what they were used for. The first person that came onto the show and told me about the mysterious Scottish stone balls was somebody called James Swagger. Now, James Swagger is about as mysterious as the stone balls themselves, because during my time working with James, we had great fun. We had a great laugh. He was Irish, I was Scottish, with the accents going. But then he literally disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, literally disappeared off the face of the earth. And nobody's ever heard from him again. I was one of the last people to hear from him, and he sounded like there was something really crazy going on. It sounded like something out of a movie. There was Russian gangsters, there was Bulgarians, there was the mob. It was crazy. It was crazy, and all he said was, Kev, I might need to disappear for some time. I'm a bit worried. And he disappeared. And nobody ever seen or heard from him again. Now, if James, if you are out there, please get in touch, brother, because it's almost as mysterious as what's happened with these stone balls here. And I would just like to know that you're okay, man, because you were the guy that first alerted me to these mysterious objects. And if we come back to the story here, you see, it's a mystery wrapped in a mystery, this story for me, because when I see these enigmatic structures, ornaments, whatever they are, it makes me think of James Swagger and the shows that we've done about Newgrange, all the earthworks, the acoustics. Jimmy Swagger was like Rain Man. He was like the Rain Man of archaeology. It was like, wow. What Anthony Patch is for CERN, James Swagger was for archaeology. And he was here 1 minute, he was everywhere, and then he was gone. It's a mystery, I tell you, it's a mystery. So it says now a fresh effort is underway at the National Museum of Scotland, no less, to unravel the meaning behind Scotland's 5,000-year-old carved stone balls. That's a fair age for a set of balls, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. It involves a fingertip search. Don't know why I decided to give it the fingertips there, but it's a fingertip search anyway. Through hundreds of documents cataloguing their discoveries. Virtual reality technology, citizen science, and a hunt for at least two. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. The hunt for two missing mysterious stone balls, and perhaps many more. Now, most of the intriguing stones were discovered in Aberdeenshire. However, in many cases, precisely where they were found was either fully not recorded, or the spheres mistaken as either not being as historically important as they are now known to be. As a result, it's thought that some may not have ever been handed or even have been handed over to authorities as archaeological treasures, meaning there is every chance that they are still kept by unsuspecting owners, have been sold, forgotten about, or indeed stuck on a window ledge. But now Dr. Hugo Anderson Weimark, what a great name, curator of prehistory at the National Museum of Scotland, is at the forefront of a new strand of research, which it is hoped will unlock the secrets of the intriguing Neolithic objects and possibly the whereabouts of the two missing spheres. We're on the trail, he says. We're working on trying to track down a couple that are known to exist. One was last seen in 1896 and the other in 1908. And there are probably a few that are found and taken away because people just don't know what they are. Now, Scotland's treasure trove system means that every archaeological find should be reported. I like that, should be reported. Because I can imagine if there's any metal detectors out there, hypothetically, that have found a big treasure in Scotland, do I report it? Or do I smelt it and get the hell out of here? So it says the law now is the same as it's always been. But in the early 19th or 20th century, no one was enforcing it. Does that mean there's like a crack kind of unit of archaeological police out there making sure that digs are being done correctly and any finds are being recorded in the right way? I mean, we love our bureaucracy over here. It wouldn't surprise me. Trust me. A lot of things are in private hands. Not too private if they're handling your balls, I would suggest. One missing stone came to light after the original finder realised 4 decades too late just what he had on his hands. It was only when he noticed the object's similarity to a carved, pinkish red sandstone ball found on the floor of House 8 at Scarra Brae in Sandwick, Orkney by Professor Veer Gordon Chilled in 1928 that he made the connection. Now, Scarra Brae, that's a prehistoric settlement that's up in the Orkneys, funnily enough, it says it there. But Laird Scranton is a very interesting character, and he has done extensive research and written books about a tribe of people called the Dogon over in North Africa. Now, the Dogon they're even more enigmatic and mysterious than these stone balls that we're dealing with. And when you start to look into some of their cosmological mythology and some of the hieroglyphs and language that they were using, it blows your mind, because it's almost as if they were describing what we would call quantum mechanics way back in the day. And the reason I bring them up when we're talking about Scarra Brae is because if you listen to Laird Scranton, he'll tell you that there's a strong possibility that that settlement up in the Orkneys has some direct link, connection, relationship, influence from what was going on with the Dogon people in North Africa thousands of years ago. Make of that what you will. It is what it is. Interesting rabbit hole to go down. Says he realised 40 years after he'd given it away, and it was sold as a part of his cousin's estate when he passed, adds Dr. Anderson Weimark, who will present a University of the Highlands and Islands Archaeology Institute online seminar on his research next Friday. Now, that Friday's past, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Friday that just went. And in fact, if we come over here, we can see it. This comes from the University of the Highlands and Islands, and that's some really archaic old Scottish Celtic Gaelic language that I can't speak there. But it says, Hugo Anderson Weimark, Rethinking Scotland's Neolithic Carved Stones. Now, as you can see, this was on between 4 and 5 on Friday, the 26th of March. But guess what? I can't find any of the conclusions. It says here, carved stone balls are one of Scotland's most enigmatic prehistoric artefacts. 500 or 5,000 years old, Neolithic period, distinctive knobbed forms were carefully pecked and ground to shape by communities across the northeast of Scotland. A small number, such as the Towie ball, were elaborately decorated and represent some of the finest examples of Neolithic passage grave art in Europe. For more than 150 years, these elaborately shaped stone spheres have captured the imagination and inspired passionate debate over the date, function and significance to past societies. And a new programme at the National Museum Scotland is revisiting these artifacts with a program of designation of old archives and 3D modeling. This talk explores some preliminary results and focuses on examples found in Orkney. And it goes on to talk about who he is. He's the curator of prehistory, Neolithic with National Museum Scotland. He holds responsibility for the Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic collections. He has over 20 years of experience within the profession, mostly in a research capacity, but including lecturing positions at the University of Bournemouth and the Highlands and Islands, now visiting reader with the University of Highlands and Islands Archaeology Institute. And he is renowned for his expertise and innovation in photogrammetry. Yeah, photogrammetry, I think that's how you say it, in the archaeology and museum sectors. So it just tells you about joining it here. It says the recording will be made available in the university's Archaeological Institute's YouTube channel the week after the event. So sometime this week, we're probably going to get to see this. I'm going to have a little look for it in a moment. But when you look at these folks, what do you think they are? I think one of the more popular kind of theories that's been put out there over the ages is that they were some kind of training tool. Some way of demonstrating platonic solids, no less, perhaps. But what do you think they might have been used for? Are they just purely ornamental? Are they just, just nothing to see here? Move along. Do any of you out there actually think these are just naturally formations, that the rocks came out the ground this way? I'm not being funny. I'm being genuine. I'm trying to think of all the things that people might be thinking. Let me hear what you've got to say about this. I want to know what you guys are saying. How big are they? You can hold them in the palm of your hand. 2.7 inches. That's what she said. No, according to the thing I had. Hang on, I'll bring it back up. I know I shouldn't get funny when we're doing something semi-serious like this. However, 2.75 inches. Now, that 0.5 inches, it could make all the difference. That's what she said. Or 7 centimetres across. So you can basically hold it in the palm of your hand. When we went to see them at the museum in Glasgow, this is the ones that we've seen. Hold on. That's what we've seen there, and we also got a good close-up of that one. And I went looking for the video that I had put up of this. We'd gone round the whole museum one day down at Kelvin Grove, and I don't know, it must have been one of the videos that we took off the website. Oh, give me 2 seconds. Let me just put on the stream for a little minute. Folks, I'll be back in a second. I'll put on some music. Hold on. Sorry, trips. Here we go. Leslie says they're marbles, they're weapons. Sid's going for alien. They're just made of stone. Just stone, nothing spectacular. BP, nothing too exotic. Much love to you, Space Cake. Very much love to you. Hope to see you again soon. We need to remember who we are, yes indeed, and I think the stone balls will take us closer, ladies and gentlemen. I truly, truly do. There's another one of them there. If I read out a bit more of the details about them here. Um, six. Right. Let me see. Okay, so if we read a bit more about them here, it says that the carved stone balls are up to 5,200 years old. They were mostly found in northeast Scotland in Aberdeenshire and east of the Grampian Mountains. Now, a similar distribution to that of Pictish symbols led to the early suggestion that the ball or the balls are Pictish artifacts. Now, the core distribution also reflects that of the recumbent stone circles. As objects, they're very easy to transport, and few have been found on Iona, Skye, Harris, Uist, Lewis, Arran, Harwick, Wigtonshire, and 15 from Orkney. Now, outside Scotland, examples have been found in Ireland, in Ballymena, in England, in Durham, Lowick, and Bridlington. And the larger 90mm diameter balls are from Aberdeenshire, apart from one which comes from Fife. Now, they're made up of greenstone. Made of greenstone. It's a common generic term for valuable green-hued minerals and metamorphosed in igneous rocks and stones, which early cultures used in fashioning of hard stone carvings, such as jewellery, statuettes, and things like that. Again, they're greenstone. Yeah. But this is a general term for all varieties of dark, greenish, igneous rocks, including diorites and serpentinite. Serpentinite. That sounds very reptilian. And altered basalts. 43 are sandstone, including old red sandstone, 26 greenstone, and 12 quartzite. Made of quartz sandstone. The sandstone is converted into quartzite through heating and pressure, usually related to tectonic compression within orogenic belts. There you go. 9 were serpentine. So serpentine is a rock composed of one of more serpentine group materials, the name originating from the similarity of the texture of the rock to that of the skin of the snake. Minerals in this group, which are rich in magnesium and water, light to dark green, greasy looking and slippery feeling balls, ladies and gentlemen. Not to really, distract you further, but they're slimy, slippery, greasy balls. Some were made of gabbro, a difficult material to carve, they say. And these were primitive people, way back in the day, eh? Way back in the day. Round and oval nature-shaped sandstones are sometimes found, and examples made from hornblende gneisses, or gneiss. Wow, hornblende? Are we casting spells for like Harry Potter, or like Lord of the Rings now or something? I don't know. And granite gneiss were noted, both very difficult stone to work, so granitic rocks were also used. And the famous Towie example, maybe serpentized pictrite. So pictrite basalt is a variety of blah blah, yep. Experimental, so full replicas have been made using authentic manufacturing techniques, pecking and grinding by Andrew T. Young, a researcher at the University of Exeter. So of the 387 carved stone balls known in, 1976, now about 425, 375 were about 7 millimeters in, 70 millimeters, and that's 7 centimeters in diameter, and that's 2.75 inches if you're really wanting to split hairs. But 12 are known within diameters of 90 to 114, big balls. Only 7 are oval, and they are therefore about the size of a tennis ball or orgons. Nearly half have 6 knobs. 3 have 3 knobs. 43 have 4 knobs. 3 have 5 knobs. 18 have 7 knobs. 9 have 8 knobs. And if I have any more knobs, I'm going to fall off here. 3 have 9 knobs. 52 have between 10 and 55 knobs. And finally, 14 between 70 and 60 knobs. And I didn't think I'd be able to say knobs so many times. Who knew? Who knew? I'll probably get demonetized, and I'm not even being crude. I'm just talking about stone balls that are slimy and got knobs on them. What are you supposed to do? You know? Anyhow, another missing ball appears in a photograph which was shared with the museum by a collector who confirmed that they had not been able to obtain it. Its current location remains a mystery. It's the case of the mysterious disappearing balls, ladies and gentlemen. Dang. However, there's I thought somebody thought the police were coming in the door. That suddenly somebody's smashing their way in. It's because I'm talking balls. However, there's every chance others may be dotted around the country. We have references of them being found on somebody's window ledge, she adds. It's that kind of thing. If you found it in the ground, you're not going to leave it there. You pick it up and you take it with you. The stone spheres are typically around 3 inches in diameter. Most are carved with more knobs. More and more knobs. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, the lost balls mystery, the stone balls of Scotland, that's where our head's at right now, folks. I apologise. It wasn't meant to get weird and funny and creepy. It was meant to be good woo. You lot. So we're going to take a quick look at a really, really good Nessie sighting. And yes, Jason, thumbs up for Kev's balls. Sidvich, a friend at Göbekli Tepe that's found stuff that's not in the news. Oh my. Oh my. Usually we see an ad like Here we go, here we go. So, we'll quickly rattle through this, and then I need to go and jump out somewhere before we do the main show today. I think I can get him to do it. He's proper, says Sidvich, dude. I'm telling you, man. Göbekli Tepe. Oh, that place. I don't know what it is. It's definitely got some kind of pool. It definitely has a big part to play in our story, right? It's not just me that thinks that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there thinking that. And you know that show that we done with Stephen and Evan Strong, it's still sending reverberations around the KBS verse. Yes, it is. I was speaking to a very good supporter of the show, long-time listener, good friend. And my oh my, they only got round to watching it just over the weekend there. And it's had a profound effect. It's had a profound effect. You know, on Freaky Friday, we had Nano Girl talking about how she can remember, or she has a yearning to go back to where she came from. The stars. Scotty Lopez talked about the same thing at the same time, right? That he had always had a kind of feeling, an inclination. He's not from here. You know, when I worked with Bruce Fenton and Jess, when they came onto the show, they introduced me to a book by Bruce Fenton's wife, Daniela Fenton. It's all about hybrid humans and ancient alien civilizations. And he talks about craft coming here tens of thousands of years ago. Well, the show that we done with Evan and Stephen Strong actually really resonated with another of our listeners over the weekend, like I was saying, in a similar way, a similar vein to what Nano was talking about. Almost a recollection of a past event, of coming here another time. We talk about how people of like minds and like frequencies are all coming back together right now, whether it's our little group, whether it's other groups that we're not a part of, but they're all reforming, reorganizing, remembering. I think there's a lot of our story still to be told. And I think we all have a piece of that story, and I think we're all starting to recognize that we've done this before. In fact, we may have done this right at the very get-go. Oh, boy, is Kev going out there? Is he out on a limb? Is he one show away from waving a dream catcher and licking a rabbit's foot and running round the microphone with my trouser leg rolled up? Not quite. Not quite. But we have to remember who we are, ladies and gentlemen, and some of you are. Some of you are already remembering. I'm telling you, it's exciting times, and with all that said, let's go and take a look at one of the more interesting pieces of footage I've seen captured on a Loch Ness Monster webcam. We had a little look at this over on the member stream yesterday, and it turned out I got egg on my face because I was sitting going, oh, another webcam video, who cares, it's going to be crap, pareidolia. And within 1 minute of looking at it, and Polly, I remember Polly talking about it as well, we were blown away. Blown away. Now, before we look at this, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, there's nothing definitive or conclusive about this. But what I can say is that it definitely has you going, and it's certainly something to make you go, woo. So, what are we talking about? Well, it's a Loch Ness Monster caught on camera as dark shape spotted above the surface of the water. Now, according to the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register, the elusive creature was spotted when the shape moved across the famous loch for a few minutes before disappearing behind a tree. So here's a picture of the loch here, and you can see right here that there's something dark in the water. That's a still image. Who cares about that, Kev? Exactly. Who does care about that? Well, I urge you all to come on over here and check out Team Nessie. Show this YouTuber some support. This is somebody who sits and watches the Loch Ness webcams in the hope that they'll find something. And by golly, she did. So we're going to watch this speeded up. I'm going to keep an eye on the sheep because I can. But watch round here, folks. Watch this area to the left of the tree. Just that little area in there. I'm going to see if you can see my... Yeah. So watch here, folks, okay? Here we go. Let's get it playing. Let's get it on. So she circled it initially. We'll speed it up just another little bit here. We're not missing anything by speeding it up here, folks. So we can see something's down there. And yesterday, as I was telling the listeners, this is quite deceptive. It looks like at the end of this field, you go straight into the loch, right? But actually, there's a big hill going down to the loch. And that bit of loch that you're viewing is a fair distance away. That is a good distance away, okay? So it's hard to really tell what we're seeing here. Now, it could be a duck, it could be a swan, it could be something totally uncryptid related, alright? But check it out. It's not going away, and it's something causing a V-like wake. It's either something on the surface or just below it. Now, this was taken on the 22nd of March, and as you can see here, like I say, it's nothing definitive. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, it's the Loch Ness Monster. But I tell you what, if I'd seen this, I would have been thinking that's worthy of reporting. And then goes behind the tree and it disappears, ladies and gentlemen. It disappears. So we'll watch that bit one more time. But like I say, that must be a good 15 feet across, maybe. 15 feet long, 10, 15 feet. It's a big thing. And I know that because of the distance away it is. You're coming up towards Uckert Castle here. This part of the loch up here is Inverness, Loch End. You can see this was the 17th of March, Paddy's Day, just after 4:15 in the afternoon. But a pretty good one all the same, eh? A pretty good one all the same. Now remember, I'm going to be live with Mary Dacina on the main show today. And the phones will be open. When Mary comes on, she likes to hear from you out there. So we open the phones up after the first segment for you to have your say. Now you can call in and just say nothing, and Mary will give you a reading, just cold reading right there on the spot. Or maybe you're thinking about changing jobs. Maybe there's something going on in your life right now and you want to see what the stars have to say about it. Now, when it comes to astrology, I find it absolutely fascinating. And at the same time, I have to admit that I find it very, very baffling as well. All of the different emotions and signs and names and things that are associated with each planet. And then when they start crossing over and going into different houses, and listen, for me, it's way over the top of my head. But does that mean that I don't think there's anything in it? Oh, absolutely not. And the first clue to there being something important when it comes to astrology and that type of thing is when you look back in history and you look at the elite families and you look at royal families and you look at governments, and they relied and kind of leaned heavily on astrologers to tell them what was going on in the heavens, so then they could make appropriate decisions down here. As above, so below. Everything's connected, folks. It all has an influence. Everything's energy. So please join us for that one. I always look forward to Mary coming on. And of course, this is the last week of shows in March already. We'll be moving into April on Thursday night. Can't believe it. It's crazy. We've talked about time and it's speeding up. Before I go, I want to kind of ask you. I'm wanting a question. I'm not expecting an answer. But how many of you are having real issues sleeping right now? Like, real issues sleeping. I mean, my body clock, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about even when I used to try and get to sleep with the body clock knackered, I used to be able to fall asleep. Not so much anymore. That's just my own personal observation about what's going on with me, but I thought I'd throw it out there to you. Have you noticed anything with your sleep? Have you? Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I can't stay too much longer because I need to nip round and see somebody before we start the show. We will definitely be back here, same time, same place, tomorrow. And it's just me on the Kev Baker Show tomorrow night. So I think I'll be opening up the phones again over on tfrlive.com. Now, if you're out on the move and you can't get to the website, never fear, TFR is always near. If you've got the TalkStream Live app, look for TFR Radio. If you've got Paranormal Radio app, look for TFR Radio. And on there you can find a live stream of all your favourite shows, simulcasting what's on over at the TFR website at tfrlive.com. So with that said, ladies and gents, I would love to stay longer and chill out with the audience. But when that message went, it was a message. I need to go do something. I need to get back here for the show because I don't want to miss Mary Dacina. None of us want to miss Mary Dacina, right? Do we have a special April the 1st? And nope, I'm fine. Just going to bed early, go late. So you're not having any problems with your sleeping, Sid. That's good, man. Yes, I cannot have afternoon naps anymore, says BP. Sam, the meds knock her out. My meds have stopped knocking me out. You wait to see a man about a dog, bearded. How did you guess? How did you guess? Been waiting to see a man about a dog all day, you know, and typical, isn't it? Just when you're getting ready to do the show. I know. It's like universal karma. I'm telling you. What else we got in there? Sleep is difficult in times of high emotional tension, Cassie. Whatever that emotional tension is, don't hold on to it too much. They want us to be reacting emotionally and get drawn in and get really sucked in right now. And that's why I've been telling y'all, folks, even some of the biggest things going on in the world out there, now's the time to realise that, yes, it's good to observe them and watch what's going on, but you have to appreciate that you can have pretty much little to no influence on any of it. So you're just as well letting go. Letting go. Close your eyes. Take a leap of faith into the woo. That's where you want to go, folks. And if not, there's always mysterious Scottish balls to keep you happy. Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you all for not ditching me after like my lazy 2 weeks when the clock went forward in America. We're back. We're full stream ahead. We've got magical balls. We've got stories about... now I'm hearing something in the background again, like somebody came in. This is weird. This is weird. Really weird. It's like I'm flitting between 2 dimensions, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. So on that note, I think I've said knobs and balls way too many times today. Probably going to get demonetized until I tell them, no, please, look, I wasn't being like crude. It's literally mysterious ones. So we're out of here, troops. I'll be back soon. Mary DeCina, join us over in Disco if you're in there. If not, it's tfrlive.com or TalkStream Live or Paranormal Radio app. We're out of here. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo.